1세트 경기입니다.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another game of Starcraft commentary. I am Namcraft, captaining for my YouTube channel, and today we're at the ASTL Season 3 Match 7 Set 1, and we have a TVT. We have a Rush, who is the red Terran at the bottom right position of the screen, representing Angdduk Tteokbokki, and we have Organ at the bottom left corner of the screen as the blue Terran, and he is representing Emtek Redbit, and this is the first game in this series, and the map is Polypoid. So, you know, this is a very standard map, very easy to play, similar to Fighting Spirit, and TVT is gonna be interesting to watch it on this map because it's not a kind of a big map where you have, you know, lots of openings, lots of bases, and big macro battles in the middle. So, you know, we're gonna be watching out for close encounters between these two players. And this kind of spawn position is very interesting because it looks like Rush, the red Terran in the bottom right, will have a slight advantage if he's going for drop shifts, and Organ is gonna have a slight disadvantage when he is going around, you know, trying to get into his opponent's main just to drop some vultures, some tanks. And we'll see what is the build choice that these two players are gonna go to. Both of them sent out their first SCV to go for a barracks. Yeah, this is an in base near the ramp barrack. Although it looks like Organ's barracks is closer to his ramp than is Rush's barrack. Rush's barrack looks like he's, you know, ready to lift it over right away, and that position of Rush's barrack indicates that, you know, he's very looking forward to scout with his barrack very quickly, and he might just make one marine before moving out. And we see that Rush is sending out his first SV for a scout. Yeah, that is a scout because he doesn't have enough minerals to make a command center at this point. And it looks like Rush is scouting in the right direction, guys. He's scouting in the right direction, and at the spawn position like this, the barracks of Organ, I think is going to be able to scout the direction that Rush's SCV comes from. And being a good player that Organs is, maybe he's gonna be able to anticipate, you know, what is the direction of that SCV and where he should scout next. And exactly is what Organ did. Organ scouts counterclockwise, and he's gonna just be a little bit later than Rush in terms of when he gets into his opponent's base, but nevertheless he's able to save some money by scouting a little bit later and to get some intel. So Rush is able to see that his opponent has taken gas, made only one marine, and immediately floats the barracks. So that is the kind of intel that he expects. And look at this, Organ doesn't find the barracks from Rush because it's already started floating out. But I think he suspects that, you know, there's only one barrack and it's probably somewhere. But is he gonna lose one SCV? It looks like, oh my god, so Rush is up one SCV, guys, and Organs, I'm sorry, yeah, Rush is up one SCV, and look at this, Rush trying to send his SCV back again. He didn't check the command center, so he is more concerned with, you know, saving his own SCV than checking the command center. And look at this, I think both players are gonna follow up with vultures after they have made their command center, so the game is dead even, guys, at this point. Although it looks like Rush is Rush is up one supply. This is expected because one of his SCVs survived, whereas Organ lost his. And you know, if you look at the top right corner of the map, you will see, you know, the two players APMs, and yes, this game is very APM intensive, and Terran is known to have very high APM, up to the 400s, and Organ, it looks like, has a slightly lower APM. He's a kind of, you know, I think a little bit more rusty player among these two. I mean, he's definitely not established, and, you know, not getting a lot of play time in the individual star leagues, in the race wars, and things like that. So we're gonna see. I think both of the players are very solid. At least in the old cast buddies, they were very good. So we'll see how they play against each other today. So it looks like Organ went for 3 factories, and both of them are, and then are, sorry, Russia's, both of them are going for 3 factories, guys. And I think that they opt for mass vultures at this point. So that upgrade is probably for speed. Speed is going to be the first upgrade that these 2 players go for. And they're gonna try to do a kind of a quick vulture attack, surprising the enemy. And in those kind of close encounters, micromanagement is very, very important. You need to be able to focus fire on the opponent's forward vulture, and as the defender you need to pull your damaged vulture back quickly, and you need to get a good arc, you need to get a good attacking angle on your opponent, and those kind of small details will determine who wins the battle, because at this stage of the game, you know, just one more vulture is very, very critical. And also, you know, the ability to kind of retreat when it's required to kind of repair your damaged vultures is also going to be important. Look at it. Look at this, guys. Rush is going. Is he going to go the long way? No, he's staying. He's content to stay at the low ground, and he doesn't have vision of the high ground. Look at this. We have 7 vultures versus 7, and Organ has the high ground, but who is focusing fire better? It looks like it's 5-on-5 action, 4-on-4 action, and it's gonna be soon 4-on-3. Look at this, guys. Organ should be retreating at this point, but he doesn't. He's like, you know, fighting to the death, and it looks like 5 vultures behind. That's what happens, guys. This barracks is blocking the things, and they're going in, and one vulture gets immediately sniped. This is what you need to do. You need to focus fire, and Rush does exactly that. His excellent focus firing was what saved in this position, and now he's pounding on Organ's expansion. Repair was not fast enough to kill these vultures, and even though Organ has a shorter supply line, he's unable to win the battles, and these SCVs are gonna have to run. Why don't those 3 vultures get down? Those 2 vultures, because Rush is just streaming vultures, and this is what sometimes happens when you play Terran versus Terran. It's just vulture war, and you know, spamming vultures. Look at this, 3 more vultures to make a total of 4, but they are unable to. Look at this. Rush's vultures are damaged as well, but he smartly retreats and waits for more vultures. So I think the game kind of stabilizes a little bit, but he needs to focus fire, and Organ is not retreating the right vultures. Fortunately for him, some of his SCV were able to help out, and he kind of stabilizes for now. But at this point, Rush is 64 supplies versus Organ's 45%, guys. So Rush is about, you know, 1/3 supply up on Organ. And in TVT, this is not that big of an advantage as in other matchups, having a supply lead like this. And we're gonna see if the 2 players go for tank, and the kind of whether Rush is going to be able to turn this advantage into a position of advantage later on. Whoever gets their tanks to the high ground first will secure a kind of a soft advantage going to the mid game. And look at this, wow. So Organ has a ton of vultures, but they've been constipated. 1 vulture blocks the path, but now they're out. Look at this, I think there's gonna be at least 10 vultures from each side, 12 even. And both of the players are going to lose their barracks, but it's no matter because now each of them has about 5-6 factories. So look at this, Organ is looking for an opening. He is going down to the southern side, but he doesn't know there are forces waiting for him up the north. But is Rush? He sees, you know, he sees the movement of Russia's troops, and now he's able to lay some mines. So his mines research is done, and with those mines, he's going to be able to have a kind of a vision on, you know, oh, there's gonna be a small battle here. One Marine was killed from Rush. So Organ is very careful, and he's kind of slightly catching up on supply. And we're gonna see this big battle in the middle, guys. Who is gonna prevail? Looks like Organ has a slightly better angle, but some of his vultures are stuck behind. He needs to kind of move forward and focus fire. Oh my god, this is the vulture war that I was talking about, guys. Just pure vultures from both sides, and they are dead even. Although Rush's supply line is slightly shorter, and Rush is able to kind of defeat something. He has a much better angle, guys. You see, look at that. You know, you need to kind of build an arc out like this to kind of attack your army, but Organ prevails this time, and Rush is contented to move back and defend his own base with just 5 vultures remaining. Oh my god, both of the players just making mass vultures. No one is brave enough to switch to tanks at this point. Neither of the players have gone for gas in the expansion, so you see how serious they are about winning this kind of Vulture War. Something is being upgraded there for one of the players. Is Rush upgrading mines? I think he already has mines, so he's probably upgrading Tank Siege. And he's looking to go for the long game, I guess. Look at this, Organ is slightly able to catch up on supply. And Organ is gonna come in, and he comes in and he tries to focus fire, but who has the better angle? Oh my god, it looks like Rush's army is slightly inferior in numbers, and he's not focus firing better than Organ. Very good, very good mind drag. And look at this, this tank is gonna be in serious trouble. And somebody needs to go and kill that tank, guys. And clutch repair from Rush, and but these 3 mines are gonna kill the tank for sure. No, they don't kill the tank. And the game continues, and Organ resupply with more vultures. He needs to lay some more mines, I think. Or I guess he says, you know, I'm not gonna lay any more mines. And he is going to go for 4, 5, 6 mines and mine drag, but the tank survived. No, it doesn't. The game stabilizes, but what happened during this process? How come Organ has just 45 supply out compared to Russia's 78? So it looks like he either what? Was there a vulture attack here that we missed? There must have been some kind of harassment on Organ's base, because he doesn't have any more stuff in his base. And look at this, his SV line is very thin, guys. And even though Rush has some, you know, very clutch moments there, he is leading by supply, and now he has tanks and he has siege. And I don't know if even Organ has researched siege for his tanks yet, let alone starting to produce tanks. And once again, Organ wins the Vulture battle, I think, here. We don't see any more resupply coming from either teams, but what is it, 4 Vultures versus 4, 3 versus 3, and 5 versus 4, 4 versus 4, and the tanks are also getting in the mix, but I think it's time for Organ to head home. He cannot beat against that many Vultures and tanks, and these Vultures, these 2 Vultures, they don't have any place to go, they kind of run around. Organs is not mining any gas from both expansions, so I think he's definitely behind. And Rush, you know, is staying at home, playing very safe, taking his expansion, and, you know, slowly crawling up. And I think it's time for Organ to get his gas and go for the long game, guys. He probably can't win this short-term vulture battles anymore. So 6 factories from Rush, and he's building a starport. Organ is gonna do a run by, but just at the wrong timing. Look at this, guys. Two tanks just came out for rescue, and he's GG. He's unable to keep up the economic and military battle without any kind of further units beside vultures. And the first game has been won by Rush. It's great, and we'll see you in the next game. Bye bye.